Hey guys, what is going on? It's your boy Razgs here, and welcome back to episode 7 of the Brexit Show. Today, there's not been much news, so it isn't going to be a long episode. Today's episode is basically going to be about Jacob Rees-Mogg, who has said in an interview today he might have to eat his own words to back Boris Johnson's Brexit deal, as he urges fellow Tory hardliners to compromise. So yes, that is going to be the bit of news we are going to be talking about today. So, Jacob Rees-Mogg admits he might have to eat his words to back a Brexit deal. Boris Johnson is facing a make-or-break week for his fledgling Brexit agreement. The Prime Minister will urge EU leaders to finish off Brexit by thrashing out a workable deal, and Brussels summit at the end of the week will be followed by a showdown in Commons. So, as we know, the Commons will be sitting on Saturday next weekend, or this weekend coming, I could say, where Boris Johnson will, in his eyes, is hoping to have a Brexit deal ready to be voted on and passed by Parliament, so that we can leave with a deal. Let's face it, leave on October the 31st, because I honestly believe now that if no deal is agreed, we will extend Article 50 and then expect a general election. But what really interests me today about Jacob Rees-Mogg is, I've made no secret, I think he's the best MP in Westminster. The way he speaks and the way he talks and how confident he sounds and how intelligent he sounds, no matter if you hate him or love him, no one can deny his intelligence and his depth of knowledge. And he has been attacked by those from such as Barry Gardiner, who said how he sounds so calm and so reassuring, no deal's going to be fine, which I think we will be fine in the event of a no deal. So what really struck me today was he's been a thorn. Well, he was a thorn in Theresa May's side during her premiership, often going against her over her Brexit strategy. And I say often because in the end, of course, he did vote for the European Treaty. And now he's saying, well, what Theresa May had, he was against, but now he's saying with Boris Johnson he's willing to compromise, which is quite interesting nevertheless. Sophie Roach made a good point today on Sky, that is it because of now he's in the government, as leader of the House, is it because, that's why he's going to back it, because he is in the government? What Rees-Mogg had to say was he trusts the PM on the package, pointing out that Boris did lead the Leave campaign in the referendum. And he did, reassure Tory Eurosceptics and the DUP, to reassure them about the deal, because the DP are threatening to derail his fledgling deal. Now, like I said, it gets me because Jacob Rees-Mogg was against Mrs May's treaty and only voted on the third time because he feared that we wouldn't have Brexit at all. But now, with Boris Johnson, he's fine with bits I believe he wouldn't have been fine with under Theresa May's government. Now, I'm not defending Theresa May. I know she was a terrible Prime Minister, and people like Jacob Rees-Mogg did make it very hard for her. Now, what I've got to say about Jacob is he's got to treat Boris Johnson the same as Theresa May. He said he was rejecting Theresa May still because it wasn't Brexit and it wasn't what the people voted for. But with Boris, it's like he's kind of changed his tune on it, and I honestly believe he would accept stuff from Boris that he wouldn't have accepted from Theresa May. Now, what I would like to see from Jacob Rees-Mogg is, if the deal is bad, if it's not Brexit, I would like to see him resign from his post and say, I'm sorry, I can't support this deal, It's not Brexit, it isn't what the people voted for. I said this about Theresa May still, and I'm not going to change my stance over Boris Johnson still. What I think, though, he's going to say, oh, well, we had to make some compromises, blah-de-da-de-da, and just go along in cabinet, which is a shame. Like, I'm not attacking, well, I am attacking Jacob Rees-Mogg, but like I said, he is my favourite member of Parliament, and I remember when he done the motion of no confidence in Theresa May's leadership of the Conservative Party. I was saying back then that Jacob Rees-Mogg should be Prime Minister. So I've supported Jacob Rees-Mogg now for coming up for over a year. But I just hope he doesn't, I just hope he doesn't not buckle. I just hope he doesn't weaken his stance, and he doesn't start accepting little its and buts. He needs to stand up for exactly what he stood against Theresa May, and if he does that, then I think he'll have enormous respect, not just by Brexiteers, but also by Remainers, because Remainers will look at it and say, oh, it's not as if he's not being consistent. Because while I absolutely hate the Liberal Democrats, I have the respect of them for, all along they've always said they're against Brexit and they want to stop it. So while I absolutely hate their undemocratic stance, I have respect because it's not like they've just came out recently and done it. They've been very consistent over this. And I think Remainers, well, I think they should, even if they don't like what he stands for and hate Brexit and all of this, if Jacob Rees-Mogg was to resign from cabinet and say, I can't back this deal, I would hope that Remainers would say, like I said, even if they don't like him, well, at least he's sticking to what he said. Because I think if he were to back a deal that wasn't Brexit, Brexiteers like me would turn on him and be like, Theresa May, you rejected Theresa May's deal because it wasn't Brexit, yet you're backing Boris's deal that isn't Brexit. So yeah, that's all I really have to say about Jacob Rees-Mogg and about this story today. Whatever you think, please leave it down below so I can give it a read. And yeah, that's it for today's Brexit show. Like I said, I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you soon, well, tomorrow, with another video. Cheers and goodbye.